Hello people, welcome to 2023. Happy New Year. And this year my New Year is happening from Montreal. So this is my first time in Montreal, my first ever trip in Canada. So we are gonna go around and see what should a first timer do if you are in Montreal like me. So this is a first timer's guide to Montreal. So we'll talk about transportation, getting here, getting around, what you should do, where you should stay, what you should eat, and everything else that you should know if you're visiting Montreal for the first time. But hey, before we jump onto the video, I want to introduce you to the latest addition in my vlogging gear. This is a wireless microphone which I have been wanting to get since the longest time, and just last week Saramonic sent me. This is Saramonic's Blink 100 B2 wireless microphone. If you had noticed in my last video, I was using this microphone. In this video as well, I have used this microphone. I took it on my trip to Montreal because I wanted to see how easy or hard it is to use. And then I wanted to tell you whether it's worth or not. And after all the tests, it is worth it. I really like the fact that it's lightweight, it's really tiny. They've got two transmitters. You can use one with someone you are vlogging with, or you can just use one which I'm using. You can hold it in your hand, or there's like a clip for you to. And they have got other series as well, which is B3, B4, B5, which is like the number of receivers and keep on increasing. So you can order it online from their website. It's available in Canada, and this I have put on the link to get the microphones down in the description box below. This is a really good addition if you're vlogging. It's a thumbs up from me. Okay, now back to the topic, back to the video. Let's go. First, we have to get coffee, and then we'll head on to Union Station to catch our Via Rail to Montreal. Montreal is very easily accessible. You can either take the flight to the international airport, take the bus that runs from New York as well as Toronto, or take the Via Rail like I did. So this is my first time taking the Via Rail to somewhere. We're heading from Toronto to Montreal. We booked our tickets online using Canoe, and we got 50% off our tickets. So this is like return journey, $410 for two people. And once you get the tickets, you have to reach here 30 minutes in advance to get your boarding passes. After that, you head over to the concourse hall and board your train. This is so exciting. I'm going to show you the whole process because I love train journeys, and it's been a while since I've been on one.
It's about time.
And off we go. It's a 5 hours journey, so I'm pretty excited about it. And we finally reached the French city of Canada, Montreal, and trying to find our way to our hotel. If you're visiting Montreal for the first time, then you would want to stay close to the major tourist attractions that you want to see. And my recommendation is to stay either in downtown Montreal or at Old Montreal, which is also very close to downtown. Montreal is a very walkable city, and all major tourist attractions are within a 5-kilometer radius to both of these locations. So if you stay at downtown or Old Montreal, you will be either walking or taking the public transport if you don't plan to rent a car. And trust me, you don't need to rent a car here. Because it's New Year's, we're paying 3 nights, $675 with taxes. Pretty expensive, but we're right in downtown, and it was just like a 10 minutes walk from the station. So pretty convenient as well. That's not bad. That's a pretty decent view from the 10th floor. If you like see here, that's the Ferris wheel, and I think that is the Notre Dame. And there you go. These are like the nice places right from my room, and the white rooftops from the snow. It's nice. I don't mind Montreal. It looks really nice and really modern. So first impression, pretty good. There's a lot going on in the city, so you might want to pick and choose what you like and plan your days and nights accordingly. But hey, this is what I did. Our first stop of the day is Montreal Underground City. It's like a 33 kilometers maze of markets. So let's go. But I was a little disappointed at this place because there were no directions and it was very hard to navigate the markets and the way to get to different markets in the underground city. It is marked, but it is also not marked. So if you don't know the way, you will end up not seeing anything like me. So if you want, you can give this place a miss or just visit the main center where the statue is. Quality Spectacles is the hub of art, entertainment, and festivals in Montreal. Something or the other is always happening here, and when I was visiting, it was the holiday market and luminotherapy.
can tell that you're tough. Just the sight of you when I'm at my weakest point
This
makes a
feels
world
so
of
nice.
difference, so you make me strong. Pretty little thing, you're a diamond in the rough, shining from within. I can tell that you're tough.
This place is the spot for all cultural events in the city and comes to life as soon as the sun sets. One thing you should absolutely do if you are in Montreal is walk along St. Denis Street because it is a vibe. It's beautiful, and because we are here during the holiday season, it is decked up with fairy lights, installations, and it looks so nice. I'm like I did not know about this place, and I just like walked around and ended up here because there were lights around the streets, and it looks so pretty. And there are like a lot of restaurants. So even if it's you're here not in the festive season, you will still find a lot of restaurants here to check out, and definitely a must visit.
Pretty little thing, you're a diamond in the rough, shining from within. I can tell that you're tough.
If there's one thing you absolutely cannot miss in Montreal, it is their food. And the one place you should head to is Myland. This is a hipster neighborhood where you'll find historic restaurants selling some amazing food from decades, cozy cafes, vintage shops, and so much more that just says, hey, you are in Montreal, the second largest French city in the world. If you want, there are a lot of daily food tours that take you around the best local food spots in the area. But I went on my own food tour and I'll share all about that in my next video. For now, all I can say is you cannot miss the food in Montreal, especially at Myland. Once you're done eating, you should head to Old Port of Montreal, which has the most French influence, and you can easily see it in the architecture, buildings, streets, everywhere. Old Montreal looks just like a town straight from Europe.
Come and take a walk with me. Challenge your wildest dreams. No more fear.
I was told that Old Montreal looks like a little bit like Europe, like any European city, and I did not believe it until now. Like this street looks straight out of an European movie. This is so beautiful.
Hear your every word, song of a mockingbird. Tells the truth.
Next up for the day is Notre Dame, and this is open I think from 9 a.m. in the morning, and we thought because it's raining today we should come here instead of waiting for it tomorrow, but seems like everyone else also thought the same because there's a queue. But anyways, I'm gonna show you around Notre Dame. 2 adult tickets please. On card please. church I've ever seen.
Yeah, lift up our very heads, comfort us suffering. That's what you do. You're the soul of so many.
Notre Dame Basilica was built in early 1800s and is a magnificent piece of Gothic revival architecture. It was so visually pleasing that I just sat down to admire the beauty and absorb all the details of this creation. This place is worth visiting, trust me.
I'm coming home today, and I hear you say it's about time we met.
So ultimately, I could convince him that we should go on the Ferris wheel, and we are going. So this is another thing you could try out. So the ticket was $57.50 for 2 people, 2 adults. If you're a student or a child, it's cheaper. Just got in one of the pods. This is super cool. So if you have got some time, definitely come here and do the Ferris wheel. It's nice, you get really good city views, and obviously if it's not raining, you'll get better views than me. But it's not bad, it's a good thing to do on a rainy day. So we have finally reached Montreal Park, and it's all foggy and misty and rainy, so like my little destiny brings me to rain. But yeah, it looks super good and super eerie. I don't know if it's a good thing, but wow, you should not miss this place, especially if you're here in summer. You'll have like amazing views, but it's not too bad right now as well. I'm enjoying how beautiful it looks, and there are like barely any people, so yay. Okay, let's go, let's check this place out. And you can take the bus straight to the top, bus number 11, from like the base of the mountain, and then you just get here.
Knowing soon we'll be back home.
And we have reached the top. This is the chalet, and this is the viewing point, which is basically covered in fog. I don't know, this always happens with me whenever I reach to like a lookout point. A lot of times it's covered in fog. But anyways, this is really nice. On a clear day you can see Montreal from here, but obviously not today. So we will just enjoy the weather and walk around here because this is nice. I'm glad I started my first day of the year doing this. It means I'll do this all through the year.
You told me about the hidden place, something in the atmosphere.
Fun fact, no building in Montreal can be taller than Mount Royal. So there's a cross on top of Mount Royal. That's like the max height any building can reach. It can't go over the height of that point.
The dawn, knowing soon we'll be back home.
This is so pretty. Even in this foggy weather, you can like really enjoy the colors and the fog and the mist if you're up for it.
And I'm wishing that you knew.
This is the most beautiful place I've seen in Montreal, and I think my trip wasn't complete without being here because I like nature. I get happy when I see nature. In winters, when it's like totally covered in snow, you can also go snowshoeing in here, or you can get crampons and put it on your shoes and just walk on the snow. This is spectacular. Last day in Montreal, and we are exploring Montreal Botanic Gardens, which is also known as Jardin Botanique.
And I'm thinking about you.
If you want to visit the greenhouses or the insectorium or the biodome, you have to pay for it. It has tickets. If you have canoe, it's free. And everywhere else, it's free to walk in until May. So you don't have to get any tickets for the gardens. These greenhouses are home to plants from different parts of North and South America, which thrive in different climatic conditions. So as soon as you enter a different chamber, it's a different temperature. How massive these leaves are. I wouldn't lie, the Botanic Garden is a summer destination because the main attractions, which are the gardens, are covered in snow and you can't really see anything because the plants are dead. We still managed to enter the Chinese garden, which looked like a winter wonderland.
I minded my own business till the day you took me home. You came into my life like a sweet embrace, swept me off my feet and made me whole again.
But apart from that, no other garden was accessible due to the snow. Now, Montreal is a city for foodies, and you cannot miss trying all the amazing dishes. And the first thing you should try is poutine. Why? Because Quebec is the place where poutine was invented. And if you don't know what is poutine, it is basically a Canadian dish with fries, gravy, and cheese curds. And if you want to try poutine anywhere in Canada, it should be Montreal. And you'll find the city's best poutine at La Banquise, which is a really nice, very old store which was opened in 1982. And this is where people line up to get poutine, and it is an experience. The store is open 24/7 and you will have to wait in line. The line can go anywhere up to 30 minutes to 1 hour depending on how crowded the place is. I waited for 1 hour, but trust me, the wait is worth the food. They serve up to 30 different types of poutine, and this is an experience you should not miss. Apart from poutine, Montreal bagels are a must try. They are handmade, honey dipped, and wood fire oven baked. There are a lot more things that I would recommend eating here, but I'll leave those for my next video. So for now, all you should try is poutine and bagels. And oh yeah, the two places to try bagels are St. Viator and Fairmount. These two places are also open 24/7. They have super cheap and super delicious bagels. They are always competing with one another. If you ask a local, they will never have one definite answer of which bagels are the best. So go try and decide for yourself which bagels are the best in the city. Now you must be thinking how to get to all these amazing places. Well, if you don't rent a car, then either you can take an Uber, which is what I did, and Uber is super cheap in the city, or you can take the public transport, which is also very well connected to all these amazing places. So for $11, you can get one-day passes, which you can use multiple times in 24 hours. So we got these. So let's go. Taking the metro to get back to our hotel. The metro line and public transport is really good here. This is all you need. Montreal is a French-speaking city and the majority of people speak French. However, that does not mean that you need to know French to travel or communicate there. English is spoken commonly, and you'll find that a lot of people in a lot of places say bonjour, hi, signifying that they speak both languages. The people are also very sweet, so if you are stuck anywhere because of language, they'll come around and help you. However, it is also good to note that all signs in Montreal are in French. So keep your Google Translator handy because there might be times where the English translation is not given and you are just stuck around thinking what does it mean. And if you ask me what is the best time to visit Montreal, then I would always suggest autumn because there is so much nature to see and the fall colors turn orange, yellow, green. It is a spectacular view and the weather is milder. This city gets a lot of rain. September and October are comparatively drier. It's shoulder season, so the hotel rates are not that bad. And it is just a nice time to see all the fall colors, experience the best of the city without being overcharged. However, if you do decide to visit Montreal during winters, there is something that you should be definitely keeping in mind. Just decked up with some scarf, gloves, and if you're coming to Montreal in winters, make sure you bring enough layers, thermals, sweaters, jackets, gloves, scarves, everything, because it can get pretty cold in here. Winter is a good time to travel because there's less crowd, but it's also pretty cold. So make sure you watch the weather and bring the right clothes. So that was the end of my trip to Montreal. Very tired going back. I think 3 days is enough for Montreal. There's not much to see. Like you can see everything in 3 days. You'll be fine. Will I come back again? Maybe not because this is like a one-time place. But if you haven't been here, you should definitely visit once. And visit during like autumn or spring. That's when